Hi everyone, it's Sandra and Marina from the Valco team, and we're looking today at rental properties as the next sort of series video for our frequently asked questions, and we want to sort of dig into that and look at what that looks like for people. Now I know on TV lots of people are buying rental properties, income properties here, there, and everywhere, and there is a potential to make a lot of money to have those investments and have that money sort of rolling in for you on the back end. But what does that really look like, Marina? Can I just come in tomorrow and decide that I want to buy a rental house?
So I think it's really important when buying a rental property to think about the potential and everything that goes into it. And I think that's what we're going to talk about today. When you buy a rental property, you have to remember that you have to put 20% down. And most of the time, this money needs to come from your own resources or the existing equity in your home. If you don't already have a home equity line of credit, you also need to be able to support that financially to be able to carry this. Keep in mind, people always think that the rental property is going to pay for itself. Most of the time, within the first 5 years, you are going to have to invest money into your rental. Are you prepared to do so? Can you financially do so? And what does that really look like for you?
So now if I was to book an appointment to come in and discuss looking at a rental property, what are some of the things I would need to start off, I guess, besides 20% down in my bank account?
So I think it's important to look at where your assets currently sit. So if you have a lot of assets in investments or backup assets or something to fall back on, that's a great situation. If your only asset currently is your home, it's really important to kind of start taking some money from your monthly budget and setting it aside to go to what would be your rental property. I think that's really important, being able to financially handle it and know what goes into owning a rental property. I think it would also be very important to look at that Landlord-Tenant Act, because there's a lot of things that are out there protecting tenants, which is great for the tenants, but can negatively impact renting and your ability to receive your rent on time. And if you can't afford to cover the rent for your tenants, you need to make sure that you're prepared and familiarize yourself with that act.
Now, is there anything besides getting a regular mortgage for a home that you live in, is there any other documentation or things that you need to get that rental mortgage? And how does that look different than a regular mortgage?
So absolutely. So you need everything that you would with a normal mortgage. So you need to have income confirmation. You need to have that breakdown of your credit. Your credit will be pulled. Everything is still based on yourself as a person, as well as the rental property itself. You also need to make sure you have a lease agreement in place, or if you're looking to purchase, you're connected with what rent is in that area. If you're looking to purchase a rental property in Kitchener-Waterloo, for example, it's pretty tough right now. There's a lot of condos that are in that price range of $200,000 to $300,000 that you might be able to turn into a rental. However, most of the time when you add the condo fees, the mortgage payment on 80% of $250,000 and the property taxes, you'd need to make almost $2,000 a month to be able to actually cover that cost of that rental, and that's not where rents are sitting. So it's really important to have a strong knowledge of the rental market in your area or wherever you're looking to purchase.
Now, if I don't have a strong sort of idea of what rent can be charged for anything like that, are there any tools or anything that you have access to as a mortgage agent with our team that would be able to help someone out with that?
So as an agent, we have some familiarity with the current market, what we know landlords are getting for rent, that kind of aspect, but we also have that wide network of realtors that we would refer you to. Realtors often find tenants for you. You do have to pay them a small fee, but it's really worth it to sit down and have that conversation with a real estate agent you trust or to make sure that you're being realistic.
I guess sort of in your own opinion, is having a rental, is that something that is easily obtainable for people in today's market with the stress test and things like that?
Having a rental property is a large investment, and it's a huge investment, and it would be like any large investment. Is it realistic for you to be able to have $100,000 or $200,000 in any sort of investment property? If you work hard and you work towards it, absolutely, it's something that's attainable, but it's not something I wake up and decide that I'm going to go make a $200,000 or $300,000 purchase, and oftentimes they don't really cover for themselves.
Okay, well, that's a little bit of a look into what it can entail to get a rental property. If this is something that looks appealing to you in terms of an investment, we're always here to help.